Start of the third quarter in Vernon, Florida for the 2023 NHSA National Championship for high school 8-man football. Several flags fly as this is a return. Heading back, that was Larry Reinard on the return, and we will
hear from Nate Starr very early on in the second half.
It's 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So that'll move it back after the return. Spencer Thompson, Brendan Daniel, Alex Chasen, producer Theodore Fernandez. We got director James Shannon, Jamie Martinez running sideline camera, bringing you all the action from Panama City Beach, Florida, north of the city in Vernon, Florida. This is we're at the field, the home of the Vernon Jackets. Out in don't know if you can really say countryside of Florida, but a little bit of a drive out here as the teams compete for a national. Humans, as he couldn't escape the tackle from Nate Williams and company.
And that's a good start by the Tennessee Heat defense. Just get back there enough to stop Humans from a big run, and way to start a nice little motion over to your side.
15-14, the Tennessee Heat. Orbkey, so he is their designated kicker, but as far as we're aware, not many field goal attempts on the season for the Tennessee Heat. And movement on the encroachment. Looks like they'll call it on Jake Wogan. And deep toss on the right side, airing it out downfield, just outside of the reach of Connor Essig. Looked like it brushed off of his right hand there. Should have had it.
Definitely should have had it quite off the fingertips, but maybe if he had died for it, he would have caught it. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice if you want to win this game.
Especially difficult to do that in the rain with muddy, wet field conditions. Should have made a slide there.
With bare hands, that ball's really wet, so you got to really get over there and get it.
It's almost where instead of trying to catch with your hands, you almost try to cradle with your arms. Hurts a little bit more, but have to make the sacrifices. Here's Lamb. A dart on the left side, incomplete. Looked like it went through the hands of the Heat's looked like almost number 6, which they don't have on their roster, is Luke Matthews. Sometimes it looks like when the numbers compress it, it's a 6, but Luke Matthews on the season has 2 interceptions, both totaling 28 yards, so you just had one slip up there. Wyatt Sutton deep back to receive the punt, and this is exactly what the Tennessee Heat defense needed to start out the half. Just stopped him very short and bounces down to the 46-yard line. Touched by Kyler Barkley, and now the Tennessee Heat's offense will come back onto the field with great field advantage, starting at, they'll spot it at their own or in the 45-yard line of Panthers territory. From the 45-yard line. Motion to the left side. Matthews. Right side, quick pass, and catch is ruled completed by Danilitis down to the 45-yard line.
And that's the body catch that we're talking about. Get under your arms and get in there and catch body.
On the 36, Short distance to the line again. Matthews, quick screen, incomplete. Through the hands of Russell.
That's an easy catch. I don't understand how you just let that slip through your hands. I understand it's wet, but you got gloves, so there's no excuse there.
Yeah, just missed the completion there for now a 3rd and 1. Handoff, Sutton. Trying to push through the line again. They'll let it play out until forward progress is ruled. Looked like they called forward progress right at the line to gain. And they're going to roll him short, about 4th and inches. Have to just hand it off to Sutton here to try and push it through.
Or you might even fake it and let Matthews get the first easy first down, as he usually does, maybe even more.
Yeah, both of them dual threats on the rushing end of things. Big 4th down here. And they'll keep it to Sutton. I think he got the first down. He did.
That's excellent play calling. Just have Matthews act like he's going to go out for a nice little pass, and then nope, just gives to Sutton, direct pass, and good first down.
On the first down, Matthews looking across the middle. He's got his man. The completion made. Head Russell, the sophomore. 15 catches on the year for 175 yards. At about 15 there.
And that's absolutely one of the big players that you need to catch the ball, and that's him. Russell with a good catch and a good slide. And also a great pass by Matthews. He got it right where he needed to lead his wide receiver.
Had about 15 plus 15. Looked like about a 30-yard reception to put the Heat on a 1st and goal situation. About exactly where they were at the end of the first half, where they couldn't capitalize. Matthews gets a gain of a yard, but drugged down by the jersey. As a tackle made by Braden Shealy. 11 solo tackles on the season. And add that to his total to stop the touchdown. 2nd and goal on the 4.
As you notice, he kept moving his feet. As long as you keep moving those feet, it's hard for that defender to bring you down. He's got to take you by your jersey and swing you.
Second and goal. And a handoff trying to go up the middle, stopped by the defensive line. Luke Luchtefeld not able to push through. Another gain of a yard, and they're just chunking away some of these yards to get it a little bit closer. Might not be the best strategy to run it up the gut. That will certainly wear down the defensive line as the game progresses.
And they're catching on real quickly, and they're winning in the trenches. This defensive line is very battle-tested, and they're doing what they can to win this.
3rd and goal. Matthews with the lob to Sutton. Can he do it himself? Trying to push through to the goal line, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Tennessee Heat.
That's good play calling. You see up the middle ain't working, go off that tackle right there, off to the right, and just get Sutton in like he usually does. Easy run in.
And you're hearing from the PAC sideline saying every point is important, especially with the 7-point lead. 2-point conversion would make it a 2-possession game. And 2-point conversion is ruled no good. 21-14. The Tennessee Heat capitalized on their first offensive drive of the second half with 7:04 left to go in the third. We'll trust Isaac Orbkey to kick it off as this heads down to about the 12-yard line. And attempted return gets to about the 23. It's an impressive showing by the Tennessee secondary because PAC's offense has been very explosive throughout the year. 12-1 overall, 5-0 in the SIFA. They were going to play in the SIFA championship. A Coastal homeschool forfeited the matchup, and by virtue, the PAC Panthers became champions of their conference. Would have been interesting had the Tennessee Heat gotten their win last week, so you would have conference champions colliding with each other. And unfortunately for the Tennessee Heat, they couldn't capitalize on that with Freedom Cowboys. So now you've got the SEEK runner-ups facing up against the champions of the SIFA. And 1st and 10 here from about the 23. As this will be carried up the middle. Carried there by Cam Humans. Lob in the backfield, carried by Connor Essig. He'll get the first down and a little bit more, pushing off of his defender down to the 42-yard line. And the PAC Panthers on offense have been able to do so well throughout this contest as they've been eating up clock for the most part and trying to make it benefit them there. The challenge is trying to capitalize, and second offensive drive couldn't do anything on the first drive.
But as long as they keep this up by just following their blockers and their blockers doing their job, they'll be fine and just able to get the points on the board. They just need to figure out how to get in there.
Moves the chains to the 41-yard line for a 1st and 10. And the keeper results in about a gain of 8-9 yards. Cam Humans with the rush. About three short of the line of gain.
And he took off as soon as he got that ball. It was almost like he hit the R2, L2 game breaker and just went our way.
First reminder for you all, we will be broadcasting the second semifinal that's set to kick off at 3 p.m. Here's Connor Essig to the left side. When he gets to the outside, he's dangerous. Forced to be brought down by two Heat defenders. Essig down to the 15-yard line.
And watch this stiff arm right here. It's almost Derrick Henry-like. Look at that. Get down, little boy. Get off me.
Essig again on the year, almost 300 yards. Anytime he carries the ball, gains about a first down. 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. And has moved the chains further down to the 15-yard line for the PAC Panthers. And on the keeper by Lamb, taking it himself to the outside, brought down inside the 10.
And this offensive line, as you can see, everybody's winning in trenches. Everybody is blocking every single guy and picking up everybody for a perfect run by Humans.
up the middle. Lamb again. He's got an opening. Lamb pushing to the goal line. Touchdown, PAC Panthers.
PAC Panthers are winning this battle in the trenches on both sides. And then look at that perfect gap hole. And just easy for him to Lamb to get in for that touchdown.
Add to 12 rushing touchdowns on the season for Lamb. First charge timeout of the half for the Tennessee Heat. And early on timeout for him, to say the least, but now a 21-20 lead still pending the 2-point conversion. See both teams thinking it over here. 3:57 left to go in the third quarter, a 1-point lead. In huge part to that field goal they had at the end of the first half. And fortunately, the rain has also died down. There's essentially no wind at all today to help with that factor. You wonder if Orbkey and his foot will have any factor going into the later parts of the game.
I'm sure with all the rain and the mud, it's going to be hard to keep your footing up. But luckily, these cleats, sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. It's all about how long you've had these cleats and how much wear and tear there are.
Or at least for the Tennessee Heat, 12 games, 13 games for the PAC Panthers. Those cleats have put in work. They're fresh cleats, a few games worn in practices, and diving for the goal line on the 2-point conversion. Lamb gets in to take the lead, 22-21. And the PAC Panthers, just like that, have taken the lead back from the Tennessee Heat. PAC Panthers kick it off. They try an onside kick again, and the Heat are going back on offense. Want to have a correction to a stat we read earlier. Coastal forfeited in the semifinals, so the SIFA championship is actually occurring next week, which very abnormal where you have a team playing in the national championship prior to their state championship. We've seen a couple of times where, especially 2020, the COVID year, the national championship happened before the TSI AA championship. And the Augusta Eagles are certainly watching this contest to see how the PAC Panthers play out against the Tennessee Heat. Imagine having to play the NHSA national champions if PAC were to go on and win it all. A tough, tall task even for a conference championship. Here's a carry up the middle by Matthews, swallowed by 3 PAC Panthers. Thomas and Lehman in on the tackle.
Like I said, PAC Panthers winning both sides of the trenches. Look at that. Just everybody just shutting blocks off and getting in there and just tackling.
Yeah, Thomas, Lehman, and Burns in on the tackle. So you had a group of 2 seniors and a junior having to bring him down. But that also shows how physically tough Matthews is to bring down by anybody in the secondary.
Well, as you can see, he's a big fella. He's not a small guy to bring by. So it's going to take a lot of them to bring him down if they want to tackle him like that.
2nd and 11 with motion on the play. Matthews alone in the shotgun is going to air it to the left side, incomplete. Graham Russell, the intended target, just slipped down trying to get the ball, hit the ground before it got to him.
And I wonder if that's a little slippage on Matthews too. He looks like he didn't really have his footing to get that pass under there and get that ball straight to his wide receiver.
Our side with the press box is populated with the PAC Panthers fans. The home team, the away team is over on the other side with the Tennessee Heat that you see in the background. They travel very well. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, you're 0 for 1 on penalty predictions, Brendan.
Well, that's why I'm in the broadcast booth, and not a referee.
That's why we don't have a rules analyst up here. In the last couple of years, we've been in the closed press box for the most part. And the bleachers rumbling. They did accept the penalty, so it's back for the first and 15. Matthews under pressure with the hurry, incomplete. Pass intended to Danilitis.
And that was a perfect hit by him, too. I think if he had been a tad bit a little too early, they would have had to call it for pass interference.
And we could hear in the background the Evangel Lightning warming up for the second semifinal, as well as the Fort Wayne Crusaders. We'll have that matchup for you starting at 3 o'clock here on 8-Man Extreme. Second and 15 with a matchup that currently looks on pace to finish around 2:30. Depends on how things play out here with the back-and-forth sparring match that's happened between the Heat and the Panthers. Second and 15. Matthews is going to air it out the middle. This intended for Russell. He's got it! Graham Russell inside the 15.
And he's trying to, the cornerback is really trying to challenge that. Let's see on the replay.
And you can't see from that angle if he fully secured it or not. The official there had the best angle and a reception made.
I'm going to say he secured it. It is a perfect catch, honestly, with his body, and he probably fell on it, so it's perfect.
First and 10 on the 14. Lob to Sutton. Looking for the option, swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Initial contact made by Brandon Sheely. You just heard someone shout at the backside, "Oh no!" You gotta love the crowds here at high school football games. And it's a good time to have reactions like that too. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. One play will need to be snapped off at the minimum. Second and 11. Sutton in motion. Matthews tries to keep it. The defensive line read that the entire way. Torrin Burns, the initial one to pierce through the offensive line and make the contact.
And he's been piercing through all day long. I've not seen this man not get through the offensive line so easily.
And that is going to take us to the end of the third quarter, setting up to be an epic conclusion in Vernon, Florida, 22-21. The PAC Panthers lead over the Tennessee Heat. 12 minutes separate either of these teams from a date for the national championship on Monday afternoon. Fourth quarter action beginning for the 2023 NHSA National Championship semifinal. Pac Panthers lead by 1 with a score of 22-21 over the Tennessee Heat. But the Heat knocking on the door, taking back the lead. Matthews with a quick screen to Sutton, incomplete. 4th down. Spencer Thompson, Brendan Daniel. We'll hear from Alex Chasen probably in a little bit. Sideline reporter for the day, producer Theodore Fernandez, director James Shan, Jamie Martinez running our sideline camera. Vernon, Florida, the site of this year's national championships, Pete Edwards Field, the city opting to no longer allow contests there. They're going to be tearing down the iconic venue, so we were there for essentially the last time that it's been used. Definitely needed some upkeep on Pete Edwards Field, but decent venue here. Only if the rain holds off, then we're all good. And it looks like the Tennessee Heat are going to take the field goal attempt from the 17 and booting it deep, headed towards, and the Heat have taken the lead by 2. 24-22, the Tennessee Heat have taken the lead back, and you think about it, again, they missed the 2-point conversion attempts earlier in the game, making this comeback. And you also think about with the Tennessee Heat losing the conference championship last week, having to reassess and think about everything going to Florida. Of course, the Heat always plan to come down here to the Panama City Beach area, and even with the loss last week, it doesn't look like they've skipped much of a beat in that they've regrouped and reassessed since they've faced off against the Freedom Cowboys last week.
And that's the thing, as a team, coach and players all together, even if you take a loss in the state championship, you just got to move forward and look to the next game. And that was this game right here for the semifinals to get you a bigger championship and the national championship.
Very few teams have lost their state championship and then won the national NHSA championship here. Christian Community did it back in 2017. The Evangel Lightning did it in 2020, where they had a rematch against Ezekiel Academy. This returned to about the 14-yard line. And the Pac Panthers offense will get back to work. First and 10 on the 14-yard line. About 86 yards for the Pac Panthers to march down. Plenty of time to do it, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper for Cam Humans. Swallowed down by 2 Heat defenders. That was Hill and Sutton on the call, and the Pac Panthers gain about 8 yards. And looks like we got an injury timeout. Looks like Cam Humans is shaken up, and perfect time for us to head down to Alex Chasen with the latest from halftime.
Back and forth this game goes. I talked to Coach Humans at halftime. He said his objective, and at that point they were down by 1 point. Just got to keep pushing. They're only down by 1. They're having good plays. They're playing pretty good overall. They just got to keep working and make the plays happen. You can see the score. It's back and forth. Well, back to you, Spencer. Let's see how this game plays out.
And hopefully with this back and forth battle, Humans will be able to come back in. You can think about the challenging emotion that happens for the Pac Panthers, especially with head coach Tim Humans seeing his son Cam down on the field, and we will step aside while they tend to him, the medical staff. Cam Humans heading to the sideline and being looked at by the training staff. We'll see if Alex can get us an update on that situation as best fit. Clock resumes, 11 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Scramble, toss up across the middle, and the catch is made. Kyler Barkley gets past the 50 to the 45-yard line. Moving the chains is the junior. He already has 120 receiving yards on the year.
And Kyle Barkley, just perfect catch as well on the play. And just able to move those the yards with all the players around him on defense. Perfect throw by the quarterback.
And a keeper for Lamb. He's going to be brought down for a gain of 2 yards. Tackle made by Whitaker. 58 total tackles, 44 of them on his own this season. Add that to the tally to Whitaker. More active on the defensive side than on the offensive side. Just shown up for this Tennessee Heat secondary on the year. Time winding down, 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The Heat leading by 2. PAC Panthers do not have, to our knowledge, anyone who kicks field goals. And it makes an interesting factor as we come down here. Here's Essig on the right side. Dangerous when he gets in space. A touchdown-saving tackle by Wyatt Sutton. If he had gotten to the outside, would have been completely gone, as we've seen throughout the day.
A perfectly cut shoelace tackle right there. Watches as he just relentlessly get that foot and just able to get him down before it gets going.
Lamb with the keeper, collided with his own lineman before the Heat secondary got to him. An initial tackle there by Jeremiah Curtis, the senior. Curtis selected 2 years in a row as an all-conference lineman for Southeastern Extreme Conference. Been a part of that heavy defensive line. Second and 11. PAC trying to march it down the field and take back the lead. A keeper to Humans. Good to see him back in the game after being shaken up a few plays ago. And he gets a gain of about 4. And you can see on the other side of the field, the Fort Wayne Crusaders are warming up. Watching on this semifinal to see who they could potentially face off. The Evangel Lightning are on the other side of the field. Sure, we'll get some capture of them later on. Both teams eagerly anticipating to see who they're going to face against. And encroachment. And you see the frustration from Samuel Hill. Samuel Hill and company frustrated at the defensive line there. That's not a mistake you can make in this situation.
You had the momentum the whole entire time going to this end, and so now you got these penalties hurting you again. I'll keep it up, and you're going to put the PAC Panthers right where they want to be.
Gives them a better field advantage on 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 4. You have a keeper to Lamb, right side. He collides with Curtis and stopped for forward progress, enough to move the chains for a first down at the 23.
That's just a big win for the offensive line in trenches. Perfect blocking on every player. He's able to get that first down easily.
First and 10 inside the 25. Lamb will go for the pass. It's a screen to Humans. Another gain of about 4.
I'm surprised Tennessee Heat didn't try to at least jump the ball. It looked good enough to go in and go get it, but you guys weren't ready for it.
And one of the other tough things about a contributor, because you think about the Panthers started it around their own 20, 25-yard line, and they've already marched it back to Heat 20-yard line. With Levi Ashburn being out for the day, he has some of the most tackles for the team, so that's been a factor. As Humans will keep it, and you see the defense trying to force out the ball. A tough grip there by Cam Humans.
It's like Coach said, it's just going to have to be a next man up, and there's plenty of guys out here that's been doing their jobs and tackling. They just need to figure out a way to get to either a turnover or stop this run.
First semifinal heads into its final 6 minutes. Lamb will keep it. He's got some space on the left. Avoids the first tackle. Second one is made by Eli Whitaker, and a big stop for the Heat defense.
And that's exactly what they need right on time. Spencer, look at you. You might be a coach after all, as you got a perfect call. They needed to stop, and they got it.
Still, as mentioned, the PAC Panthers do not have anyone to kick field goals. So on a 4th and 5, we've seen some explosive plays in these situations before from the PAC Panthers.
I may just do a little trick play and maybe do a little pass game right here if that's something they're not really prepared for, because they got everybody bunched up.
Now the stop that Tennessee Heat very much need. Lamb is looking for the option the right side. He got past his man, trying to stop him through the end zone. Connor Essig for the touchdown.
And that's a grown man move that he made right there. Watch as he hits his out route right here. Perfect throw, perfect catch. Just moves that guy out the way and just an easy walk in. Essig, just a star player for this PAC Panthers.
A 2-point conversion here makes it a touchdown lead for the PAC Panthers. Make it a 30-24 game, and not as much time for the Tennessee Heat to make a stand. Here's Lamb up the middle, going into the goal line, and we are at 30-24 with 4:36 left to go in regulation. The PAC Panthers on top in this national semifinal. Turn audio back on. 4:36 left to go, fixing some video issues here. We'll get that back in a moment. A flag for a free kick going out of bounds, so the Tennessee Heat will have good field advantage starting at about the 35.
They'd like to take the ball at the 35-yard line, first down.
We started at the 35-yard line. And again, we got video issues. We'll get those back up for you in a moment. Radio call while we were trying to fix those. Give you some radio play-by-play while this is getting situated. So from the 35-yard line with the free kick going out of bounds, the Tennessee Heat will take over on offense. 4:36 left to go in the game, trying to march down and potentially have a game-winning drive. Matthews from the shotgun looking, is going to air it out deep across the middle. Overthrew his intended target of Graham Russell. He got to about the 35-yard line. The ball was a step or two ahead of him, and that shaved 6 seconds off of the game clock.
It's kind of surprising because usually those two are on form. They've been like that all day today. I'm surprised he misses them.
Matthews had those issues as well in the Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship last week, and trying to alleviate those, trying to overcome that with a 2nd and 10.
Those mistakes need to be fixed in order for them to make this comeback win, because they're going to need it.
Matthews under pressure, toss over the top, incomplete. And I don't think there was a receiver in the area. They are going to call an intentional grounding on that. And potentially an ineligible man downfield, which would move this back.
That's just that PAC Panthers defensive line just able to push through and not give them any time.
Trying to alleviate these video issues. We'll get them updated as soon as we can. And the penalty declined with the result going to 3rd down. Third down and 10 from the 35-yard line as the Tennessee Heat look. Matthews across. That's complete. Catch made by Graham Russell, and a flag on the far side. And this is going to come back. Waiting for the call from Nate Starr, and
There's no flag on the play. 1st down.
flag waved. Discussion had, potentially something going on, and headed in favor of the Heat. A great play with a catch by Graham Russell, and exactly what they needed. Looks like we still have Nate Starr's microphone on. .410 left to go. 1st and 10 from the 46. Matthews with time, over the top, intended for Sutton, and it's intercepted! An interception by Kyler Barkley, his 5th interception of the year, and at a crucial time for the PAC Panthers.
And Berkeley went up there to go get that interception. Look at that, just reaching for the stars and aiming for the moon for that national championship.
Still 2 timeouts for the Tennessee Heat to work with. If they could get a stop here on defense. And Kyler Barkley is immediately being stretched out by the medical staff. Looked like he had either, hopefully, just a cramp in that regard. And a big play for the PAC Panthers. Again, it looks like Nate Starr's microphone is still on. Looks like they'll get that disabled for you. And trying to fix these video issues again. 3:59 left to go in the 4th quarter. 30-24. And looks like we got it taken care of. 1st and 10 for the PAC Panthers. On the 35, Humans to the right side. Can't avoid the tackle. Wyatt Sutton gripping him by the right leg to stop it there. And a timeout called by Coach Scott.
And really, if you just keep moving and just lower that shoulder, you really keep getting those yards and no one's going to stop you. But he tried to juke him out.
.351 left to go in the 4th quarter. The Heat burn their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to preserve time here in the semifinal. One timeout remaining for the Tennessee Heat in the second half, as the PAC Panthers try to march it down, and a little bit of a gap up the middle for Lamb. Defense stops in there. Another timeout called by Coach Scott, trying to preserve time here, and it'll be 3:44 left to go. And I think in this situation now you got a 3rd and 5. It's been difficult it hasn't been too difficult for the Heat to stop the PAC Panthers. I've only had a few explosive plays, like 2 drives out of the majority that they've been able to march down the field and chew up clock. So it's a very doable stop here, and that's why Coach Scott was comfortable with burning all of his timeouts.
But you just got to worry about the passing play, because that's the thing that's been killing them the most. Anytime the PAC Panthers have been able to pass the ball either to Isaac himself, he's just been doing work and able to get into the end zone.
One of 2 semifinals happening here for the national championships for high school 8-man football. Moved from Pete Edwards Field to Vernon, Florida, here the home of the Vernon Jackets. Still have play clocks on near the scoreboards like they did at Pete Edwards, and 3:44 left to go in this first semifinal. The Evangel Christian School Lightning, the 5-time defending national champions, look to go for a 6th straight, and they start that journey here in Florida against the Fort Wayne Crusaders. That's set to kick off at 3 p.m. today. Here's a handoff to the left side. Connor Essig has got some space. Connor Essig is going to get the first down. Weaving out of the tackle. How about a little bit more? Connor Essig tripped up from behind by Nate Williams, and that's a big enough gain. They'll stop the clock for the first down, and all the PAC Panthers have to do here is chew up clock.
And that's a great call by the coaches. Just give it to your star player. And Isaac, he's been able to do everything and anything you need him to do in that big first down as the coffin, as you will, for the game.
You wonder about that timeout that Coach Scott burned earlier in the first half. Certainly coming back to haunt him in that regard. And granted, with calling the 2 timeouts, you only would have had 1, potentially stop it. You still have to get the ball.
But that one might have helped right there at that moment that you needed that timeout.
Lamb with blockers. Doesn't get tripped up, and Lamb to the outside. There goes Lamb. And another touchdown for the PAC Panthers, and that might have sealed the deal as he collides with the fence.
And that is for sure the nail in the coffin right there. Lamb just getting the room that he needs just to run and get a good touchdown. As you see, he's trying to slow down, but it's kind of hard to stop in that end zone and all that mud.
12 rushing touchdowns on the season, has another one to go with, and just like that, a 36-24 lead for the PAC Panthers. Two-possession game, and a 2-pointer makes it a 14-point game. This is where the Tennessee Heat, you have to hope they can quickly march down the field here.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to figure out some type of plays that they have that's just quick, and get a score, and then try an onside kick and get back where they were in the end zone.
To make it 14-all to the right side. Humans going for the goal line, got it. 38-24. PAC Panthers seem to have taken a commanding lead over the Tennessee Heat and are 2:46 away from getting a berth in their first ever national championship. A crazy turn of events with the interception from Barkley. PAC Panthers capitalizing on it with a big gain up to the 40-yard line and then a rush from Lamb. 2-point conversion makes it 14 points separated, and looked like it was touched off of Luke Luchtefeld, and he lands on the ball at the goal line.
That's the safety.
Waiting for the signal. It's ruled a touchback by Nate Starr. waiting for get the ruling. We're hearing some shouting from Nate Starr. I'm sure he'll come on mic and give us the clarification. I think he was saying something of that it's a touchback because he never possessed the football.
I ain't think it matters. I think it's
the player never gained possession, considered it was still a kick. The ball crossed the front edge of the plane of the end zone, which makes it a touchback.
Good clarification by Nate Starr by rule on there. We're hearing some of that with him talking with the coach, and it's the clarification that it's just a touchback and a lucky break for the Heat. PAC Panthers a little bit upset about it, thinking it should have been a safety. And now from the 20-yard line, Matthews gets it back over to Danilitis. Danilitis will get down to about the 21-yard line, and that'll keep the clock rolling.
Usually it's dangerous to throw across your body like that, but then, hey, look who's there, ready for that tackle right there. It's your star leader right there on the defensive line.
The challenge is trying to find a sense of urgency from the Tennessee Heat with the minimal amount of time they have left. Matthews is going to go deep on the right side. It's another interception, and another one from Barkley as he's taking it up to the 30. He might be able to take the distance, and that is head diving for the goal line. Waiting for the ruling. He's down at the 4-yard line. They'll make that interception number 6 on the season, and that will certainly seal the deal for the PAC Panthers. They could just knee it out, and the team that is about to have a state championship next week is going to play for the national championship on Monday.
And that's the last thing you want to do as a quarterback, just throw that ball up. You need to just either throw it to the point where the wide receiver are out of bounds.
Victory formation is all they need here, considering the remainder of the clock. And you think about the challenges the Tennessee Heat, have had on the year, at least in terms of injuries. And the coach was telling us they lost one of their stars prior to the game, and now in this situation they'll play for a consolation game on Sunday and a sneak up the middle. And 1:35 left to go. They'll just keep running it up the middle to run out the clock. And for the PAC Panthers, only one loss on the season. They won in the semifinal. Against Cross Schools. It was a forfeit, and they're playing next week against Augusta for the state championship. And 2019, they took their loss, did not play in the Division II championship for the NHSA, and now you have a prime opportunity for the PAC Panthers to try and bring championship home to Carolina. It's got to be special. And just victory formation. One more knee will do it. And already some rain, a little bit of drama. And with a final knee, the PAC Panthers, for the first time in program history, are headed to the national championship game on Monday afternoon for a date with the Evangel Lightning or the Fort Wayne Crusaders. And we are going to try to get an interview with Coach Humans in a few moments. You see the celebration there from Connor Essig. What a game he had. Really just a team effort, and you got certainly the challenge of the game is who could be the MVP, It's just such a great contest all around and so many stars on every side of the ball.
I mean, you have to obviously give it to Isaac, as he has been one of the star wide receivers for his team. But you also have Humans. I mean, anybody offensively and defensively. This was a team effort on PAC Panthers' end.
The Lightning and the Crusaders set to face off in a few moments. See the handshakes, one of the traditions you still see in high school football. Don't see it really in college or the professional league. You see people shake and meet afterwards, but it's kind of a cluster in a sense. And still one of the time-honored traditions here for high school 8-man football. And the PAC Panthers will, sure, they'll stick around and watch this contest. Same with the Tennessee Heat, where they will look to see who they are going to face off against in the national championship, as well as who will be the opponent for the Tennessee Heat in the consolation game, what they're branding it. Sometimes they branded it as Division II, but this year, consolation matchup for the teams. Every team guaranteed 2 matches throughout the tournament in Florida. And seeing if we can potentially get an interview with Coach. And down on the field with Alex Chasen is Coach Tim Humans.
Hard-fought game, back and forth the entire game, but that fourth quarter, all yours, really all yours. How's it feel to be moving on to Monday, championship?
Couldn't ask for a better feeling, man. When our defense stands up like that at the end, I mean, got to give it up to Tennessee. They were a very, very good team, very worthy opponent. We love the sportsmanship, and you know what? This is what football is all about. And you just couldn't ask for anything better to kick off the tournament. So we look forward to Monday. We'll see what happens.
Do you have any plans for the off day tomorrow before Monday? What's that looking like?
A lot of sleep and some game film review. We'll see what happens, but maybe a little time at the beach. Who knows?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of sleep on our end as well. Appreciate that, Alex. And the first semifinal done. Have about 30 minutes until the second one between the Evangel Lightning and the Fort Wayne Crusaders. For Alex Chasen, for Brendan Daniel, our producer Theodore Fernandez, our director James Shannon, Jamie Martinez on camera, all the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly. I'm Spencer Thompson saying so long from the first semifinal in Vernon. The PAC Panthers moving on to Monday. Second semifinal coming up in less than 30.